did drop this to a 4 because I'm sorry, but this will not top Razor Blade Tears. I absolutely loved the closet scene. It just made it unenjoyable. Y'all, everybody was hyped up about this book. She goes to this car lot, buys a car with no insurance, with no car insurance. Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome back. I don't know why I'm so giggly. I have no idea why I feel so giggly, but anyway, we are here to do my monthly wrap up for the month of October. To be honest, I feel like I had a okay month, but I still feel like unproductive with my reading. However, to be honest, we're just supposed to be reading for enjoyment. And I know that we all have goals that we want to meet during the year or during the month or during the week. But I just told myself, just slow down and pace yourself, because sometimes certain books require a lot of tender care and time. So what I'm going to do is, for the videos that I had reading vlogs for, I will actually link those below in the description box. All the books that I have listed here will be in the description box for your leisure. So if you want to go check those out, those will be listed below, along with the link to the actual book. However, I did put these in order. So I am going to put these in order of most disappointed to my favorite for the month. Now, I'm not saying that these are horrible books. I'm just saying that I was disappointed by just the overall book. Like, it's not what I expected. Not saying I'm not going to tell y'all now not to read them, but I'm just putting them in order of most disappointed to the best book for the month. Now, the first book, there is a reading vlog for, and that was A Ghost Camera. And if y'all saw my reading vlog, y'all already know why this was a 2-star for me. So if you're not familiar with Ghost Camera, this girl goes to this wedding. She goes up to this lighthouse and she finds this vintage camera. So therefore, when she finds this vintage camera, she starts taking pictures. And what she doesn't know is that the pictures that she is taking, the more she takes those pictures, the more the ghosts find her. And then she has to like navigate how not to get killed by these ghosts that are being taken in this picture. So I gave this a 2-star because it is a novella. It is marketed as if it's an entire book. It is not. It's only like 100 pages. And when you read the back of the book, at the very bottom, it tells you that there are bonus stories within this book. However, it's like 8 stories. So really, the marketing is very misleading. And I purchased this particular book with the excitement of Ghost Camera being like an entire book, not a novella. And Ghost Camera, the novella, I mean, it's pretty solid. The characters were not likable at all. It was, their attitude towards the ghost was very nonchalant, almost as if like it's supposed to be horror, it's supposed to be scary, and they gave YA. It didn't feel like horror. It didn't feel like a thriller. So I was just really disappointed because it wasn't a whole book, number one. Number two, the characters were not likable. And number three, the rest of the stories were very mediocre. I just didn't like them. It didn't give me that horror element that I was looking for. Like, when I read horror and thriller, I want to be scared. I want to be able to turn the page and continue to read. Every story that I read, I was like, I'm DNFing this. Of course, I ended up immersively reading this because I got tired of reading these mediocre horror stories. And I didn't like it. So now, if you want to read Ghost Camera, I would suggest, if you can find it on Kindle Unlimited, don't go buy this book, because you're going to be like very disappointed if you purchase this and it's not what you expect. So that's a 2-star. Okay, the next one is You Kill Me First by John Mars. Did I do a book review? I don't remember if I did a book review. I don't think I did. I think I just talked about it or mentioned it in one of my reading blogs. However, You Kill Me First centers around one of the three female characters in this book. They're like gagged during like the night of a bonfire. So now we're trying to figure out which character is actually in the bonfire. Now, one of the things that I did love like that thrilling element that John and Mars incorporated within the book. I do love that the characters were very toxic, manipulative towards one another, but that also made the book like ick. Like, so basically all three of the supposedly friends are really blackmailing each other. It's like they have something on each other, and it's like, if you don't do what I want you to do, therefore I have this on you. And that's kind of like what made the book too long, is because each one of them had like a vendetta against each other. And the book was entirely, y'all, this book was entirely too long. It was like 400 pages when it should have been 300. After we discovered who was actually tied up in the bonfire, that should have been it. However, John Mars continues on with the book, and I'm like, for real? Like, what? Why? Like, why? He just continues on with this story. Y'all, I was like, why is this book so long? And basically, he tries to just incorporate like other elements of the book that I just thought simply were not needed. And I'm trying not to spoil it. So he does wrap the book up with letting you know like all the elements. Like, there are like dead people within the book that actually also have a narrative in it. So now you're trying to figure out, okay, who's these dead people and how are they interconnected with the story? And it really took like almost towards the end in order for John Mars to really say, this is how everyone is connected within this book. So to be honest, number one, the characters were very toxic. Number two, the book was entirely too long. Even after discovering like the protagonist of the plot, he continued on with the story, and that just made it really unenjoyable. It just made it unenjoyable. Y'all, everybody was hyped up about this book. Everyone was hyped up about it. I actually purchased this at full price. To be honest, next time I'm going to get this on Kindle Unlimited, because after I purchased this book, I saw that it is on Kindle Unlimited. However, it's very slow. The book is extremely slow. So when I went on Kindle Unlimited, I switched to the audiobook and I read this immersively because I was falling asleep. And it's very slow. It just ties in entirely too slow. So therefore, I gave this a 2-star. Y'all read that at your own leisure, because that book was not for me. So the next book, I gave this a 2-star as well. This is And Don't Look Back by Rebecca Barrow. I definitely think I'm going to turn this like this because my canvas lamp is like making it like glare. So after I read this, I definitely understand, or I really thought when I ordered this from Book Outlet that it was adult, but this is definitely YA after reading this. So pretty much the synopsis is Harlow and Cora have been on the run like their entire lives. So Cora is supposedly the mom of Harlow. So they're running from town to town, and one night she goes to work when she literally works at a bar. Cora works at a bar. So she comes home and tells Harlow, we have to go. They pack up in like 2 minutes because Harlow is like, we've been doing this our whole entire lives. So, hey, no problem. I'll pack up the things that are most important to me, which I really feel like is traumatizing, to be doing this like her entire childhood. So in an attempt to escape from whatever Cora is escaping from, they end up in an accident. Cora is unalived, and she's told Harlow before she, is deceased. There's a deposit box in like this certain part of town, so you need to go. So Harlow buys the bus ticket, goes to this town, goes to this bank, gets this deposit box, and within this deposit box is all these secrets that will kind of help Harlow navigate how to really find out what happened like in the past that has affected like the future. Now, the one thing that I loved about the book is I did love that at the end there was some found family for Harlow that she didn't know. Number two, there were hidden secrets. Of course, I love like a hidden secret trope within families. Number three, very dysfunctional very dysfunctional family, which sometimes I typically love a dysfunctional family trope because it's just very interesting to see all these hidden secrets come to light. Now, the thing that I was unaware of was that this was really YA. So when I read this, I'm thinking to myself, like, this has to be YA. I was not under the impression that this was YA. So I'm reading it thinking, now some of these details within the book so unrealistic. Number one, she buys a bus ticket. Nowadays, we all know when you get ready to buy a bus ticket, they ask you for ID, which she has ID. However, the reader has no idea how old Harlow is. We know that she's in school, but we're unaware of how old is this child trying to navigate like all these hidden secrets and investigate like all these things that she's actually finding out about her family and about Cora and why they have been running for their entire lives. So then she goes to this car lot, buys a car with no insurance, with no car insurance, rides off into the sunset, goes to Cora's hometown. Y'all, I'm like, what? Rents a hotel room. How you gonna rent a hotel room? So no one is questioning the legality of her age to be doing all these things. That is what was just unrealistic to me. And the whole time I'm thinking, how is she able to navigate all these things and no one is saying, okay, where's your parent? So therefore, because I really didn't have like the background information that I needed, I really had to question, like, this is unrealistic. Like, how is she doing all these things? I would say 75% of the book is really Harlow explaining and navigating like through her pain and challenges that she's had with not having like a normal lifestyle. So now I really do like the ending where she literally finds out something that is going to change her life forever. Instead of Cora really just sitting her down one day and telling her the truth, they had just been on the run their entire lives. So I'm not going to tell y'all, like I always say, I'm not going to tell you not to read it. I think that this will be a great beginner thriller book for someone who's wanting to start reading thrillers because it was very slow paced. But because I love thrillers, I'm used to reading thrillers and I love fast-paced thrillers, this one was just not for me. So the next one, I was really excited to dive into this one because this one has actually been on my TBR for a while, for literally a while, probably since July. This is Blacktop Wasteland by S.A. Cosby. And this centers around a Black male named Beauregard. And Beauregard is actually an entrepreneur, or, well, he's a criminal turned entrepreneur. So he's trying to really just get out of this street life. And because he has a family, he has a wife, he has 2 children. Well, he has 2 boys and a girl. So he's like, I need to get on the straight and narrow path. But there comes a stumbling block where he's like, I don't have money to pay my bills, which is so relevant in this economy today. Like, I mean, if you're not making like, I don't know, like over a certain amount of money, you're probably out there struggling. And that's just being real. So he's like behind on his rent for his garage because in the book, he's actually a mechanic and he runs a mechanic shop. So he's approached by someone he knew in the past. They're like, I got a job. And he's like, okay. You know, at first he's a little hesitant because his wife, Kia, she's like, absolutely not. You're not going back into this lifestyle. You're not going to put our family in jeopardy because of like an impulsive decision or because you're trying to make quick money. She's like, just sell your car. It's easily worth 25 grand. Just sell your car and pay the bills and we're good. But he is thinking of, I have a family, but I need to also do this for my family. So what ends up happening is he ends up being the driver. Well, apparently he is very wide known as being the getaway, as being the getaway driver, which is I mean, you have to have immaculate skills in order to be a getaway driver. So basically, he sought out because he was the getaway driver for the friend that has approached him now. I want to say I actually gave this book 4 stars. However, the book is very slow. And the thing that I didn't realize, I actually think, y'all, this particular edition is like a UK edition, because when I looked on the back, it said UK $10.99. And the words in here, y'all, I wear glasses and they're extremely small. I don't know if y'all probably can't even see that, but they're extremely small. So I ended up having to read in tandem with the audiobook, because by the time I probably read like a page, I'm like, okay, I need to just listen to the audiobook. So I ended up listening to most of this with the audiobook at work. And one of the things that I did like about Blacktop Wasteland was that when S.A. Cosby writes his male characters, he really writes them as like a movie. You can literally see everything that is going on within the book, like in your mind, because he's so descriptive with his words. Every scene, you can literally imagine it in your mind. You can visualize it. And I love that he gives it. Let's hop in my Sorry, y'all. I got a phone call and now I done lost my train of thought. But what I was saying before I was interrupted about a phone call was that S.A. Cosby, when he writes his male characters, they're always family oriented. And I really love that about his characters, because even though it may kind of seem like their actions are very selfish, he makes the characters stand out because of their family orientedness. But I just didn't like that Kia tried to warn him and he just didn't listen. So sometimes as men, we also have to listen to our wives and learn to heed the guidance or the wisdom that we're imparting in you. When I tell y'all the heist went completely left, it went completely left, and it ended up being interconnected with another problem. Beauregard actually recognizes within the book that he should have listened to his wife. He's like, man, I should have listened to her. So the only thing that I was a little confused about was the ending. I am probably going to have to read the last couple chapters over, because it seems like he was contemplating on leaving so that he would not put his children in harm's way. And I just kind of didn't understand the ending, so I am gonna go back and read the last couple chapters to see if he actually really left. And honestly, the reason why I dropped this to a 4, number one, it was slow. The pace of it was entirely too slow. I was just like, oh my gosh, can we get to the point? Number 2, I don't like themes of fathers leaving families. Like, I absolutely do not like that, regardless if you feel like me leaving is the best thing for my family to protect them. I'm not fond of those particular themes. So I did drop this to a 4, because I'm sorry, but this will not top Razor Blade Tears. It will not top Razor Blade Tears. And this is actually 1, 2, 3. So Razor Blade Tears, All the Sinners Bleed. So this is actually the 3rd book I've read of S.A. Cosby. And I'm sorry, it just does not top Razor Blade Tears at all. So the next book I'm excited to talk to y'all about, I actually did a reading vlog for this, which I'll link below. Everything will be linked below. Y'all already know that. Which I'm trying to see which one. Because, okay, this one. I'm gonna do this one because I did rate Can't Get Enough 4 stars. And now, before y'all comfort me, I didn't say it wasn't amazing. This just does not top Before I Let It Go. Like, it just doesn't. Like, of the Skyland series, it just does not top Before I Let It Go. However, Can't Get Enough is the 3rd book of the Skyland series. And this centers Hendrix around her learning to navigate being loved on. And she's like this ambitious woman. She owns her own company. And really, she's just trying to do Hendrix. And she ends up meeting Maverick Bell, which he owns like his own app, which generated a lot of income for him. And now he's like a millionaire. So they end up meeting, but there's a mutual person between them. And he is really chasing her because he wants to be with her. So Maverick and his previous girlfriend, they break up, but Hendrix is hesitant because she feels like she's breaking girl code by letting Maverick pursue her. Now, one of the things that Kennedy Ryan does well, we already know the romance is spectacular. Like, I absolutely loved the closet scene. That was the funniest part. I cracked up so hard. I'm sorry. That's probably a little spoiler, but I really enjoyed the humor of the closet scene. That was funny as heck. But one thing, like I said, Kennedy Ryan does is she does romance so well. Not only does she entertain us, but she also educates us. So she's educating us through this book about Alzheimer's and the signs and the symptoms and how it affects not only the patient or the client, but it also affects family members and the toll that it takes on their mental health and their emotional well-being. So one thing about Kennedy Ryan is she's going to research because she's going to make sure when she presents this education that it is factual information. And I absolutely love that about Kennedy Ryan. And she's also going to make you cry. So that's one of the things that I absolutely love about her books. So I gave this one a 4-star because I don't know. Like I'm conflicted because even though I understand that this mutual person is really not like a relevant person to Hendrix getting like that love that she deserved and she yearned for, I just was like, I don't know. It just seemed kind of nasty. Like having someone's leftovers that you mutually know, I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I don't know if I could have done it. I probably would have been the same way as her. Like, no, you're going to have to stay over there. But anyway, I did get this a 4-star. It was very good. And I'm so glad to be able to have finished the Skyland series. And the last book that I read was actually the first installment of the Hoot series by Kennedy Ryan called Long Shot. So this centers around Iris Dupree and August West. So August West is at the time he was an NCAA basketball player, and he met Iris when he was in college. They met at a bar because she was actually watching the Lakers game. He saw her and it was immediate love at first sight. However, I do kind of feel like Iris, she didn't lead him on, but I do feel like she should have just told him, hey, I got a man, but she waited till they left the bar and was walking together. And when he was trying to kiss her, which that's kind of, I don't do that on first acquaintances, but when he was trying to kiss her, she's like, yo, I got a man. Then he's like, whoa, you let me start liking you and now you got a man? So he's like, okay, cool, you have a man. So he ends up getting drafted to the NBA as well as the boyfriend. So the boyfriend that she's actually with is was also drafted in the NBA, and they're actually high school rivals, which makes the book just so much interesting. So there's so much tension in this book between August and what's that little boy name? Oh, what's his name? Caleb. Is it Caleb? He was y'all, I could not stand that little boy. I think his name, see, that's why I don't even remember him because, I could not stand that little child. Yes. So his name was Caleb. I just wanted to make sure and not trying to lie to y'all. So his name is Caleb. So they're actually rivals. So during one of the games that August and Caleb played together, something traumatic happens that puts August's career in jeopardy. And I'm not going to tell y'all because I don't want to spoil it. One of the things that I love, like I said, about is that Kennedy Ryan seeks to entertain us. She seeks to make us happy. She seeks to elicit like sadness, but like sadness in like a good way. She seeks to create like that empathy while reading for the characters in question. And one of the things that she does educate in this particular book is about sexual abuse and domestic violence and the narcissistic behavior that comes with the abuser and the gaslighting and manipulation. So we're educated on all these things. It's like we're seeing the romance, but we're also being educated on this information. And I absolutely loved how Kennedy Ryan actually was able to demonstrate how people that are outside of the abuse will always say things like, you should just leave. Like, if it was me, I'm just gonna pack up and leave. Or, I can't believe you staying with this dude that's like beating on you. So everyone had their own ideology of what they would do, but they're not in this situation. So you don't know what you would do. So I can literally resonate with this book because my dad beat the crap out of my mom when I was younger. I remember running in the closet because I was like, what the heck is going on? And I think I was about 4 years old. I remember me and my siblings hiding in the closet because my dad was beating my mom. And it wasn't till like 3 years ago, my dad decides, hey, he apologizes to my mom. He apologizes to my mom. Okay, thanks for the apology. But it doesn't take away the scars and the trauma of what happened. So I just resonated with Iris so much because in that relationship, y'all, when I tell you she endured so much, I just was like, please get counseling. Like, please get counseling, please get help. And one of the things that I love about August is he was just patient. He was patient. He supported Iris. He didn't care if she was with Caleb. He did not care at all. He was just always there to let her know, you got this. If you need help, I'm here. And she just would never reach out to help for fear of other people being hurt by this Caleb. Ooh, child. Y'all, the ending, phenomenal. And he deserved it. He deserved it. That's all I'm going to say. He deserved what he got. And I'm glad the book ended like that. And I'm glad the book ended like that. So y'all have to read this book. If you've not read this book was really amazing. And I actually gave this book 5 stars. So I'm trying to see if I don't think I read any audiobooks this month at all. So before I let y'all go, let me make sure. I don't think I did. Did I read any audiobooks? Yeah. And y'all, I have really just been staying away from solely reading audiobooks because I like to immersive read. I don't know if I'm the only one like that, but I like to immersive read. I love audiobooks for work purposes only when I'm not able to immersively read, but I don't know. I'm just that way. When I listen to audiobooks, I want to see the words, especially when it comes to like things like fantasy, because fantasy is so layered and complex. I literally have to see what I'm reading because of the magical systems and magical tiers and the lore and mythology. I literally have to be like, I need to actually see what I'm reading. Okay, so I'm just trying to make sure I didn't listen to... Okay, so no, I didn't listen to any audiobooks. So now what I'm currently reading, I thought I was going to be able to incorporate in this video was Bury My Bones in the Midnight Soil. But I'm like on page like 250 and I'm only like 50% done with the book. Because if you've read V.E. Schwab already, you already know that she is a slow writer. Like, her writing is very slow, it's very literary. And I've come to the conclusion that if I can't listen to the audiobook for her books, I can't read the book. But anyway, so now before y'all go, I just want to show y'all a couple books that I actually picked up at Books A Million. So I picked up Wisteria of the Belladonna series. And I know, y'all, I said I wasn't going to get any more series, but I could not help myself. It was only $6.97 in the YA section. And I know this is actually the installment 3. But when I saw it, I was like, oh, well, I'm just going to get it. And I don't even know if the first one that I purchased was actually hardcover. So when I put these on the shelves when I get home, they're going to look like super crazy. But that's fine. And then I went ahead and picked up The Curse by Harper L. Woods. So this is the second installment of the Coven of Bones series. I actually have the first one. The first one I have is a, I think that's like a special edition because it has the serrated edges. When I went like 2 weeks ago, this wasn't even on sale. So when I saw this yesterday, I was like, I'm just gonna pick this up. This was $7.97. I mean, it wasn't too bad, but it was like the same price as Book Outlet. And I'm really trying to stay away from ordering books from Book Outlet because I don't know. I've been trying to make sure that I put money in like local bookstores. And I really want to try to get to some independent Black-owned bookstores as well, because I was looking for N.E. Davenport's Our Vicious Oats. That was actually the book I was looking for. I was looking for that, and I was kind of bummed because they didn't have it. They didn't have it in stock at all. So when I went online, they had it online. I'm like, no. And then I was looking for The Scammer because I just really wanted that trophy of a book, because I already have the audiobook, but I really wanted the physical copy because I read it as an ARC, and they didn't have it. And I was like, why do y'all not have these books when they just came out? So people wonder why I always order books on Amazon. And then sometimes when I do go to the Black-owned bookstores, I don't see those newer books in there either. But today I'm actually going to Nubian Books because I really want to see if they have Our Vicious Oats, because I really want the physical copy. I really want the physical copy. Okay, so the next book that I saw, this is so crazy. This is book 2 of the Assistant and the Villain series. And I was actually happy to get this one because I found the third book at TJ Maxx, and I'm like, dang, like they don't even have the second book. So I was really excited to get this for $5.97 from Books A Million. And y'all, it was literally the only one, and when I saw it, I just grabbed it and I was like, oh, I'm buying that. Okay, so this, I'm gonna tell you about that last. So then the last on sale book, which the dust cover is you could definitely tell it's lost some integrity a little bit, was Foul Heart Huntsman. So this is book 2 of the Foul Lady Fortune series. So this had really good reviews on Amazon when I saw the first one. And then when I saw this one, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and pick this up because guess what? It's $6.97. So I picked this one up. And clearly a lot of people like Chloe Gong. So I'm really excited to be able to get into some of her literature because I really love reading books that incorporate like Asian culture. But anyway, so the last book that I purchased, it is YA. It's by C.G. Drews. It's called Don't Let the Forest In, which this is actually the first book of the duology. And I think the duology, I don't know if the second book just came out. It's called Hazelthorn. But I had been wanting to read this since it actually came out, and I just never really thought about getting it. And then when my friend Mandy showed it on her Instagram stories, I was like, it just reminded me like, oh, I need to go get that book. So I was actually trying to find this in paperback. They didn't have it in paperback. They had one copy left, and it was hardcover. So I was like, because I gave myself $30, and I was like, this is $19. But luckily I did get 25% off because I am a Books A Million, member. So I get 25% off, full price and bargain. So I only ended up spending $56, which wasn't bad. I did go over $26. So that means like I have to subtract $26 from my next check. But anyway, so I can't wait to get into this. I absolutely love the cover. Like, oh my God. But anyway, if you stay to the end of the video, wasn't trying to keep y'all here long. If you stay to the end of the video, let me know what books you read for the month. Let me know how productive your month was. Let me know what your next read is. Put a book emoji in the comments if you don't know what to comment. Until next time, thanks for watching, y'all. Bye.